Welcome to episode number 193 of the Unfiltered Podcast. I'm your host, Earnest Christian, coming to you actually on a early midnight Monday morning. Actually, technically it's Sunday night. Technically actually it's Monday morning, but it is Sunday night about 3 hours after the Super Bowl 53 is in the books. The New England Patriots do it again. Number 6 for Belichick and Brady, and for the franchise for that matter, but number 6 for the core of Belichick and Brady as they beat the Rams 13-3. And a game that people, I went to social media. Now, I had to work throughout the game, but I went on social media, and most people who were watching the game did not enjoy it. I did. I actually appreciate defensive football. So I'm one of those people. I'm one of those football fans that can deal with, a game like this, and with the surprise factor being so heightened. But the Pats do it again. I mean, it's funny. The Pats played the underdog role. At least created the perception and of being the underdogs, and people were annoyed by that, in the last couple of weeks. But then again, there were people who were picking the Chiefs to win the AFC. There were people who were picking probably the Chargers to win the AFC. Even people were saying the Saints or the Rams win the Super Bowl. In the end, the Patriots figured it out. In the end, the veteran leadership, Brady, but not just Tom Brady, man. And in this game, honestly, we consider and say Brady made play, and he did make plays obviously in the game, but this game was old school. This game was won by the defense of the Patriots. Kyle Van Noy, Dante Hightower, the secondary, Gilmore, all those guys, they all played at a high level tonight. The Pats won this game because of their defense. And to be quite honest, the game shouldn't have been this close, to be really, 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 really truthful. The Pats left at least 6 points on the board on the field. Brady threw a pick when the Pats were moving the ball down, early in the game, and then Stephen Gostkowski missed a field goal also in the first half as well. So the Patriots really left some points on the board. This game shouldn't have been close. The Patriots really, if you think about it, dominated this game. The Rams, tied the game in the fourth quarter, the early fourth quarter, I believe it was. But if you felt the game, if you really are being fair how this game was played, the Patriots really dominated this game, start to finish. Rams had moments here and there to move the ball, but the Pats defense controlled this game start to finish. The Rams had no answers for anything. The defense, the pass rush was phenomenal. I mean, Jared Goff was not comfortable at any point in this game. Not comfortable at all. And that's just that, honestly. Julian Edelman, Super Bowl MVP. He deserved it. 10 catches, 141 yards. And Edelman's the MVP, but I can honestly tell you that, and I don't have the numbers from me yet, but I can honestly tell you that if you can give a unit the award, I would say the defense even more so than Edelman should have gotten the MVP. But Edelman deserved it, of course, too. But that being said, the defense was just phenomenal tonight. And Tom Brady, Tom Brady was decent. He wasn't, but he made big throws when he needed to, especially in the fourth quarter. That drive that game, the score that put him up for good late in the fourth quarter. That throw to Gronk. Gronk dove on the floor, dove on the field for 24 yards, 29 yards, what it was. That throw from Brady. That was a precision throw. Again, Tom Brady didn't need to be Tom Brady of old. Tom Brady just needed to be good enough and not making mistakes. He threw a pick in the game early, but other than that, he settled down and the Pats just did his job. The Pats just did what they had to do. They came in and they, all business as usual. They're still here. And Brady has now got number 6. And he's not retiring from what he says, so he's going to try number 7 next year. And right now, at this point, who do you think, who would favorites next year? The Pats got to be honest on favorite coming into the year next season. Certainly the Chiefs will have make some noise, and certainly the teams like the Colts, but the Pats are still the odds-on favorite. I'm going to look at the Vegas odds for the Super Bowl later on when I got this call. I'm gonna look at some of the Vegas odds. Maybe write up a little blog about that. But again, the Pats defense is just phenomenal. It was an old school football game. People complain about the fact it was 3-3 until up to the fourth quarter, and then I enjoyed the game. I really enjoyed. I thoroughly enjoyed the game. I thought, the Pats moved the ball quite a few times, and as I said earlier, they left points in the field. But again, the Patriots they do their job. They get the job done. It's that simple. Sean McVay got coached by Bill Belichick. Every time McVay. I mean, it seemed like the Rams. It seemed like from the onset, the Rams had to work. Every first down was like grabbing for straws. Every first down they made, it was desperate. The Pats' defense. I cannot say enough about how good this defense was. And this is a far cry of last year's game. I mean, last year when the Pats gave up, 40 points to the Eagles and Nick Foles and company, and their defense could not stop anything. Couldn't stop a nosebleed. This defense today, and I can argue and say that the Rams offense is far better than I'll say far better, but the Rams offense is probably better than the Eagles offense from last year. And this defense, the Rams had no answer. Then the Rams couldn't do anything. Kyle Van Noy was in Goff's face. Hightower was in Goff's face. The secondary played great. You can't say enough about the Patriots and what they did in this game, honestly. And again, Brady and Belichick. We talk about Brady, Belichick, and all that, and they get the credit and all that, and I'm with you. But this game was won by the Patriots defense. So for the Rams, again, McVay got outcoached. I thought McVay got outcoached in this game, but I think this is a good learning curve for him too. I think this is a good learning curve for McVay and company, and I think their team. The thing is that their team is a win now. Based on the signings that they had, this is pretty much a 1 year, 2 year window for the Rams. So, based on the players outside Goff and whatnot, they're kind of in a win now situation, I guess. I think next year might be the last chance to kind of get this Super Bowl title before they got to pay Jared Goff the big money. Remember, they signed all these guys, Sue and Aqib Talib and all that. And look, this year was not a failure. I would never say it's a failure. But certainly, when you saw what the Rams did before the year started, and the guys they signed, all these guys they signed, Sue, Aqib Talib, Marcus Peters, all that, the Rams were pretty much the favorite, or if not the second favorite, to win the Super Bowl. I can't remember exactly the odds are, but people thought the Rams would be the favorite to win the Super Bowl. And this has come off an 11-5 year last season. So, again, the Rams, I think the problem, the issue, the reason why there'd be some panic for the Rams going forward the next year is that conference is tough. The NFC is tough. The AFC, obviously, you have, the only things I would really say the Patriots had to worry about is the Chiefs, the Colts. I say Andrew Luck is back now, as you saw this year, and they got cap room, and they'll be able to sign some guys. And I guess the Chargers still, although I think Phillip Rivers lost his best chance to win a title, or at least get to the Super Bowl. His best chance was this year, in my opinion. But other than that, I think the Rams are going to have some challenges. They're going to have some challenges in the NFC. I think if you look at it in terms of who will be the best odds-on favorite to get back to the Super Bowl, to go to the Super Bowl in the NFC, or represent the NFC in the Super Bowl next year, I'll say the Rams definitely be the favorite. But I think, again, Philly will be back and healthy next year. The Saints are still pretty good. The Bears on the up and up. Green Bay, we'll see what happens with Aaron Rodgers, and it comes back. The Vikings had an off year, but it's still got a good roster. It's a lot of Seattle. There's a lot of teams in the NFC that are nipping at the bud. So the opportunities, the Rams have an opportunity to get this going, to get this title, and then they didn't they didn't cash in. So again, I don't know. It's one of those things where, but McVay's a good coach. He's a great coach. He's a top 3 coach in the league. They'll figure it out. And if you're a Rams fan, you should be pretty excited about the future for the team. But again, the Patriots, 6 titles, 9 tries with this Belichick Brady core. There's nothing to say anymore about this team. I think I've said enough about this team being the greatest dynasty. When you consider not just the era they're playing in, free agency, parity, and all that, you're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to go to H3 conference championships. You're not supposed to do this in this era, and they're still doing it. And you have to give them credit. You have to give them credit where credit's due. And the Patriots, they just find the way to do it. They just find a way. So again, congrats to the New England Patriots for winning their second Super Bowl in 3 years. It's also I believe if I'm not mistaken, it's their third in 4 years, right? 4 years. 16, 19. They won it in 16. They won in 16. Won in 18, and they won in 15, I believe. Yeah. So yeah, 3 and 5. It's 3 and 5 years. Sorry, 3 and 5 years. I mean, again, you're not supposed to do this. This, and Tom Brady at 41 years old. He'll be 42 when camp opens next year. I mean, I think I said it all I need to say with the Patriots moving forward, and I'm just out of words for this team. So, again, congrats to the Patriots, all their fans and whatnot, and a wrap to a great NFL season, pretty much. Before I go, I want to touch on a couple things, NFL things. I'm kind of dump all these NFL opinions on certain, the NFL awards from Saturday. Pat Mahomes MVP. And by the way, the NFL awards show. I didn't watch the show, but I saw the results come in on my phone as the show was going on. No problem with anything here. Coach of the year, Matt Nagy, Chicago, perfect. Defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald, no problem there. Rookie of the year, Saquon Barkley. Some say Baker Mayfield, but I think Saquon Barkley deserved it. MVP, Pat Mahomes. And in fact, I go further. Drew Brees came in second. I can argue, and I said it in the podcast many times over in the last couple of weeks, that Andrew Luck might actually deserve to be the second behind Mahomes for MVP. But Drew Brees was second there. But Mahomes absolutely deserved it. So you got the MVP, Pat Mahomes. We'll see what happens. I'm curious next year when teams now are prepared for Mahomes Now we all have tape on Mahomes. Now every team will be able to prepare for him now. There's no surprises anymore next year. But this kid's the real deal. But yeah, MVP for Mahomes. I have no problem with that at all. All right. The Dolphins, a couple of news notes here before I let go. I'm gonna do all this NFL dumps right now while I can. The Dolphins are expected to cut Ryan Tannehill. That came out over the weekend. Of course, the Dolphins they don't owe him any guarantee money, so obviously Ryan Tannehill, if this news is correct, will be cut by the Dolphins. Again, I think he'll be a starter somewhere. I think the Redskins will be a good fit because they're saying now Alex Smith will be back, probably won't play next year, so the Redskins could be a fit. Maybe the Jaguars if they cut Blake Bortles, if that goes through. So Ryan, I don't think we've seen the last of Ryan Tannehill as a starting quarterback in this league. Honestly, I think he's not as bad. He's definitely a solid quarterback. I don't think he's great, but he's good enough still to get a job somewhere else as a starting quarterback, considering the fact that there's a lot of teams that need quarterbacks out there. So I think the Redskins are a good fit. I think the Jaguars, and the Bortles, and I think there's other options out there that he could look into. But the Dolphins are blowing up again. I think the Dolphins right now are going to be in rebuild mode. And now that this game's over, I expect the Dolphins to announce tomorrow, whatever, that Brian Flores, the Patriots defensive coordinator, will be the new head coach of the Dolphins. All right. The Eagles, shocking news here. The Eagles are expected to pick up Nick Foles' $20 million option. But then I heard that they may actually try to trade him. But I'll be honest, I'm in the Eagles. If you can afford to keep Foles on the roster for one more year, considering that you're not paying Carson Wentz big money yet, I would try to keep him on the roster for another year, because you now have 2 years where Nick Foles has come through for you in the clutch, and he won you a Super Bowl the first time, and the second time he won you a playoff game, and probably could have won multiple playoff games if the Eagles didn't fall apart in the fourth quarter against the Saints. So if I'm the Eagles, and if you can afford it with the cap, and the cap's rising, I believe the cap now will be close to $109 million. If you can afford to keep Nick Foles on the roster for $20 million for one season, and you're not paying Carson Wentz a lot of money, he's still on his rookie deal, I would try to keep him unless you can get a nice offer from another team that may offer Nick Foles a lot of money. But I think it could be plausible that the Eagles could keep Nick Foles on the roster another year, because Carson Wentz has now shown for multiple years now that he can't stay healthy. And Nick Foles has shown already 2 times now that his value to that team as a backup is very strong. So I'm surprised, but then I shouldn't be surprised, I guess. So I think the economics will ultimately dictate what goes on going forward for the Eagles, and how they handle Nick Foles' option going forward, and if they decide to trade him or not. But I think if they can afford it, keep him on the roster. I think 2 years now has shown you that Nick Foles is definitely important as he can be as a backup quarterback, and being able to come in on the fly. Finally, another report came through the weekend. Jason Garrett is now a dead coach walking. The Cowboys are not going to extend him, so basically he's a lame duck coach next year. I guess Jerry Jones holding his feet to the fire. And I got to be honest with you, I have an opinion on this real quick. Keep an eye on Sean Payton, because if the Cowboys do fire Jason Garrett next year, let's say the Cowboys underwhelm next year in 2019, and let's say Drew Brees decides to retire next year, or let's say the Saints decide to break up the whole team, don't be surprised if Sean Payton is the next guy looking to get in there and become the Cowboys coach beyond next season. I'm just saying. I think they want to ride this Garrett thing out as long as they can. And if the Cowboys underwhelm next year, don't be surprised if they fire him. And if Drew Brees retires or the Saints decide to blow up the entire roster after the next season rather, that Sean Payton would be in line to be the next Cowboys coach. This has been rumored for years that Sean Payton wants, his dream job is to coach the Dallas Cowboys, and it would not shock me at all, honestly. So, all right, so that's enough for today. We'll get back probably later in the week. We'll see what happens. The podcast is back. We're going to be doing this as much as we can. I'll try to do this show daily as much as I can. We'll see what happens, how we handle it going forward. But, of course, I'm on Twitter at EJChristian7, Earnest Christian Media, of course, at earnestchristian.net. Until then, God bless, take care, and again, congrats to the Patriots for another Super Bowl title. My gosh, this thing is never going to end, is it? Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, number 6. Wow. See ya.